So we'll call the regular meeting of the Duluth Community Services District Engineering Committee for Tuesday, July 14th, 2020, to order at 5 p.m. And we'll have roll call. Mike Adams here.
Raymond Johnson here.
Ray is here. Okay. The rest of us are our guests and attendees. Do we need any public comment today?
We have no members of the public present with us today.
Okay. Let's move on to the minutes. The approval of the June 9th, 2020 minutes. Did you have any corrections, Ray, on that?
No.
I read them over. It looked pretty good. It looked like we got a lot done that day. So I'll move to accept the minutes. And if there's no further discussion on that, we can move into item D, report by district engineer on the status of the current road construction and FEMA funded projects, Sandia Creek and Via Vaquero. Dave?
All right, thank you. Not a lot to report on that one. The environmental firm has finished all their field work out there, but they're still very slow. This is Ultra Systems, and we're yelling at them to speed it up because we're running out of time. So we've been kind of busy with the other FEMA stuff, but we're going to start harassing them more and go higher up the chain to get them to move. So they're a little they're disappointing us right now. So we're going to yell at them.
You mean on Sandia Creek and Via Vaquero?
Yeah.
So what's that? What is the holdup? Is it environmental?
Well, yeah, remember we changed the project where FEMA said they're going to add, you could replace all the pipes.
Right.
Previous one, that last 40, 50 feet of the roadway we were leaving in. So with taking them all out, it actually goes into the water on the upstream side, and they had to go back out and add that section into the report so that we're not violating any environmental laws and stuff.
Which one is that? Sandia Creek?
Sandia Creek. The Via Vaqueros is fine. That didn't change. So they're working on it, just that they're not working very fast. They're blaming the coronavirus and everything else, you know.
I was going to ask if that was hampering any of the forward movement.
It is. They set up new rules in their office where no one can go places that are unsafe, and so that delayed it for over a month just getting out there because they didn't want to go out there by themselves. And then scheduling messed things up, and they finally made it out there. But what I'm going to talk about the next one, the Buena Vista, they're not having that issue at all. So
That's a different consultant, though.
that's a different consultant. So
Okay, well, so there's nothing really more to report. We're in a holding pattern waiting for approval on the Sandia Creek stuff. We can move into item E if you want to report on Buena Vista reconstruction project.
okay.
What's the status on that, Dave?
Buena Vista did all their field work, they did all the reconnaissance, they gathered the data, and they gave us 2 draft reports for 2 different sections. Ron and I we just got this yesterday, and so we haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but that's what we're going to do the rest of the week and early next week, make any comments and then proceed with the next step with them. And then they'll be contacting all the agencies and stuff like that and getting their input and stuff. So with that, it's moving forward. So I haven't read it yet, so I can't tell you what it says in there, but I will next time or give you an update before that.
What about, do you think you'll have time to read it before the board meeting tomorrow night?
I'll skim through it and just see I'll look for the big picture.
Yeah, look for the capitalized words.
I will. I'll look for the executive summary or something and see what it says.
It's kind of interesting that we're on the second Tuesday and tomorrow's the third Wednesday. It's like I don't think we've experienced that before. We probably have, but I never noticed it. Of quite as much as this, since we're,
Yeah, kind of
It
throws
happens
a
2 times a year.
it does?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm not sure. I don't remember what we've done the other ones.
Yeah. Well,
Or-
I
or
think
for-
what they did last time is we had the same refreshments the next day. So,
I think you're right.
okay, well, thank you for that, Dave. Are you in charge of giving us a report and review of this sealed bid opening for the slurry seal projects?
I am.
Okay,
All right, I'll take that. So we went out and bid the project, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4 bidders come in with numbers. All very good numbers, all below our estimate by quite a bit. As you can recall, we had the bid schedule. We broke it out in several categories. Schedule A was the slurry seal streets that we were trying to spend anywhere between, close to $600,000 or $500,000 to $600,000 in there. Schedule B was striping that went with, striping that was part of the annual striping budget. We have $75,000 for annual striping. We added that to this project so that we could actually get a benefit of a larger project and go out to bid and hopefully get a better price on that, which we did. On that one, we had 75,000 and based on Steve's estimate, and actually they came in at 42,000. So they came in a lot lower on that. Schedule C was additional work. Oh, that was, excuse me. Yeah, Schedule C was additional work. Anyway, these all projects A, B, and C came out to a total low bid of 478. And our estimate was somewhere around, was at 644, trying to keep it under the 675 budget that's in there. Now we added Schedule D, which was some additional slurry seal areas. If the prices came in really good and we liked them, we have the option of awarding Schedule D, which would add additional streets, which we have not designed or put plans together, what's in there. And so they came up with another $51,000 on that project that we put in there. We put 210 cubic yards of slurry seal, which is quite a bit. So that'll handle a lot of the streets. So we analyzed the bids. They came out with good bid numbers on there. So the total, we're really recommending that you go with A, B, C, and D, which adds up to $529,000. Now, as I mentioned, we had 2 projects, a budget of $600,000 for the slurry seal and $75,000 for the striping. So we have extra money we have in the budget. One of the items you 2 board members probably saw if you looked at your board package is we wrote a staff report recommending acceptance of the low bid and items A, B, C, and D, since it's a good price. But we also threw in there an extra item on contingency that if the board wanted us to spend the entire $675,000 as the budget, we have some good prices and we can come up with a more design for both striping to match the 75,000 budget there and the road budget of 600,000 and stay within our budget. And that includes engineering and inspection, any admin time. So there's a total of about 140,000 of extra money.
146.
146, but about, I'll say 80 to 100,000 of that is a design and inspection and admin cost. So that leaves us, that additional money, which could be, 50, 60, $70,000 that we could spend and still get the good prices that we have. So that's kind of a big summary, but that's kind of like where we're going. We're fine with keeping it as is. If you want to spend the entire budget, we can do that. with the contingency fund and work with that. We can also then present some streets and stuff at a later date of what the extra work we plan on doing. Steve has already come up with extra streets for striping. He's very good. He's very fast at that. He came up with said, okay, here's the rest that will add up to 75,000, and he's done. He's got all these streets laid out. And Steve, with that extra 75,000 and also with our slurry seal streets and doing all that, how much of the Duluth do you think we are striping in a percentage? Are we up to, like, considering what we did 2 years ago and what we're doing now, are we over half, 3/4?
Yeah, we're well over that. We're actually, with the numbers that I came up with, we have about 21 streets that we could still restripe that did not get done in the first estimate because we weren't sure how much the price was going to come in at. And those 21 streets add up to about $26,000. And that bid from the low bidder was about 23 or 24,000 lower. So we're very close to being able to just basically do, if the board lets us move ahead, we could do all the streets in the community. So as of 2020, every street in the community would get redone.
So yeah, so see, that's a good thing if they want to do it, because everybody likes striping. It's a very positive impact on people driving. They see it even on the streets we did the slurry seal.
Let me ask you a
And-
question. So we've got A, B, C, and D, and everybody's bid on that. Now, we're not going to go with the individual section bids. It's the total bid, who's lowest with all of it, right?
That is correct.
Right now, we're American Asphalt. It's at 529.
Yeah, American Asphalt South. And actually, I worked with them last year on a overlay project in Seal Beach. It was $608,000. I had 0 extras on it. They were
These guys are good. We've used them for years.
yeah, fast and
My
good.
question is, if you add on, so now they're all done bidding this. If you add on another ad hoc thing of 146,000, he adds on more striping, and we figure out what else we want to do. Are they going to have to? Is that going to be a separate bid, or will we tack it onto the low bid here, or could that change now that all the bids are out? Somebody could,
What they're going to do is they have to use the unit prices in their bid items here, and then we can add quantities to that because they are publicly bid unit prices that beat all the other firms. So we have to use the low firm, but then we can use Schedule C and D numbers to add on additional striping and also slurry seal in the streets, and that'll be good. We'll negotiate with the contractor. As soon as I get approval to say, okay, and do what you can to spend up to the max. If let's just say the board says that, then I would work with them, come up with I tell them what I'm doing right up front, right after the board meeting. I said, I'm going to come up in the next probably week and come up with a set of plans that show all the additional stuff that we want to do. And we expect to use your unit prices. They would look at that, review it, and we would probably be able to, and without changing the unit prices and being able to use contingency money, Jim and I would get together and discuss all that. We could present all that probably in the August meeting. That would be right before they probably would start to work. So it would come back to the engineering committee and the board for approval before they probably start, because most likely they won't start till the end of August and be done by the end of September, most likely.
So what do you think about it? Once you do all that, will this change the outcome of who's going to do it?
No. We're only working with the low bidder. That's it.
Right now. So we're working with the low bidder for the additional contingency.
Right, and we're using his unit prices.
Oh, that's fine. So in other words, yeah, we're not going to put out to bid. American Asphalt gets it at 529. Now we're going to give them an additional bunch of work that they can do, but they have to use the existing pricing they used before.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, because you can't change the unit prices. You can't change the publicly bid unit prices at all. Or you're violating it.
You're saying by doing this, we will enable the entire district to be striped. That it wasn't counting last year and this year.
And then a good chunk slurry sealed, but not everything. There's still there's a lot of areas out there that aren't. And some of it's because of how we have to spread the money around the different districts. Some of the districts need more help than others, but they don't have money.
Well, I don't know. What do you, Ray, are you on board with that?
Yeah.
What do you say, Jim? Sounds like a good plan.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
we planned to spend the 600,000, which actually, generally, we do 700,000 per year. So we've got a lot of cushion with the price that these bids, the low bid that came in.
Well, I
So
say,
I'd say if it were me, I'd get as much bang for the buck as we can.
yeah, I agree. Okay, so Dave, you could continue on your quest with working with Steve to figure out how to spend that other money, I would think.
Yeah,
And
Steve,
bring it to the board.
yeah, Steve's already done his part. It's up to me now.
Oh, okay.
I'm good at spending money,
That's good.
especially at these low prices.
Yeah,
But you know,
they came in good.
the first thing you notice when you come into Duluth now is the watch for stop cars.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I really think that was a long overdue sign. So that's really, I appreciate that because I have to stop there every day, you know, right there. And that
Yeah,
people,
that's dangerous.
yeah, I can't imagine why they never had that before, but you must have had something to do with that, huh, Steve? Or is that in our district or before our district?
So that's outside our district, but I've been working with the local Riverside County traffic engineer to get that in.
Okay, well, great. Thank you very much.
But Steve made that request. That was his idea. The county didn't think it up.
No, I'm sure they weren't
Yeah.
volunteering anything, yeah.
So yeah, good job, Steve.
How's the new stop at Camino de Oro or whatever? What's the name of that street? Right where we
Yeah.
put that stop? Is that good?
Del Oro, yeah.
Del Oro. Yeah, that's
Seems like it's working real good. I watched it several times when I was up there this last week, and everybody seems to be adhering and yielding to each other. So,
good.
and that's the good news is because most of the people are your own residents. So, you know, coming from one way or the other, you know, so.
What's the what is there any news on the traffic count or any changes in the flow of how many cars are going through the district recently, or is it just staying constant with the since we have the Sandia Creek out and all that? Is it?
Yeah, we haven't counted it specifically since that last count we did, but that was like last December or whenever that was. We haven't done anything since then, you know, so with the coronavirus, I'm sure there's been some reductions, but we didn't take the time or spend the money to go see how much that was. And
Yeah, we hearing Jim, are you hearing anything from the peanut gallery as far as you know, why don't we have more CHP and all that? You know how we used to hear that all the time?
Yeah, no, that has died off because there's really comparatively, there's no traffic up there anymore. And we're not even using CHP to speak of, a little bit just to show force kind of thing, but that's it.
So basically what's gonna happen is once we fix Sandia Creek, we're gonna catch hell.
Oh, get ready. You're gonna have to install a couple more phone lines.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, well, thank you for that, Dave. And then let's see, what do we got here? We got to do the traffic issues, Steve.
well, we've done about half of them, and the other two things that we have coming to your board meeting tomorrow night is the second reading of the weight limits and the second reading of the speed limits. And Keith has already gone together and got all the signs ready to go and stuff like that. So,
Good.
and you guys formally adopt it, then we'll get out there and get those things posted. So, and just an update, San Diego County approved their weight limits already. So I haven't driven all the way down that hill to go see if the signs are up, but I'm trusting that that's moving ahead. So
What is that, a 7-ton?
7-ton, correct.
Well, that's good. Well, that's every little bit helps.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the field crew report on road maintenance activities. Keith, what's going on?
Well, last month the guys pretty much finished up all the weed spraying district wide, and I would have liked to have had a little more June gloom, but we didn't really get that. So we did what mowing we could, and at this point we're just clearing with just weed whackers and trimming, and so we're focusing on the intersections and sites and visions and distance clearing at this point. If we happen to get some cool weather, we'll try and get out and mow a little bit more, but it's looks like we're just going to be mowing into the fall season just to get things, caught back up.
That sounds good. I was going back to Steve for a minute. Do we have any plans or any calls for any additional stop signs anywhere in the district that we might have had an option to put in that we decided not to?
Well, we did the ones along Sandia Creek, and we did the 4 there, and seems like people are generally happy with those. The one that we did eliminate that, you may look at someday down the line would be Avenida del Oro at San Diego Creek. Now that you have the stop sign at Avenida del Oro and Rancho California, that one would fit in there nicely too, but I don't think there's any sight distance issues or studies that we've conducted that we haven't fulfilled. So I think all of them are in for that. So trying to follow the guidelines where we can there. So
Did we put our weight limit signs on, was it Los Gatos? Where was that, that hill?
yeah, those are up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Excellent. Raymond, do you have anything, any questions or any comments or anything you want to add to that you think we might need in the district?
I don't have anything.
Mhm.
Travel agency or anything?
Cell phone coverage.
Yeah,
Right on Rancho Cal down by his street.
That would be good. Cell phone. Yeah. Okay, what about, Jim, do you have any report on subdivision maps or any county issues that we need to hear about?
All's quiet, it's kind of vacation season, and then with the virus thing, there's not a lot happening with county stuff. We're still doing, I don't know if research is the right word, coming up with a new strategy on this gas tax thing. And I'm not sure where that's going, but just looking at a lot of different options that we could present in the fall. Remember, there's a new legislative session starts December. And so if we're going to do anything legislatively again, it's coming up 4 months, 5 months from now. So anyway, I'm working with Mary Ann on that, and with the board and some other possibilities. And we haven't heard anything, and we don't have any contract with our lobbyist.
Yeah.
So we're just doing it, like we did at the beginning.
Well, I thought are we working with the county supervisors going down that road, or I thought that.
Looking at it, this whole pass-through concept, it didn't work, and only because they don't want it to work, the county.
Yeah.
At some point, I'll share, with you guys, and the county really is getting a lot of gas tax out of us now, and I think that's what has scared them, because adding our roads, with our miles of road, really only nets a third of what, let's say, let me say, how do I phrase this? Let's suppose we were in a district and the county maintained these roads. The county would, and I'm just going to throw out a number, would get 4 million in gas tax, but only 1 to 2 million relates to our miles of road. So in other words, they're already kind of getting it anyway. And that's what kind of came out in this, that it's really a bigger problem than we knew about. But I think the county knew about it, and that's why they freaked out when we came to the table, because I don't think they want to address that.
I don't see how we get anything done up there in Sacramento that doesn't have something to do with closing businesses down or
Yeah,
something else. I'll tell you what a sad situation that we're in is that my wife's been bugging me for weeks to go to get some masks, real ones that they sell. So I went on this where she likes to go, the Southwest Indian thing, and so they have all these masks, that you can wear, and I call them up, and so they're out of stock on all of these masks, every one except for the American flag one. It's a 4 to 6 week backlog on every mask except for what you would say the Donald Trump masks. So
is that right?
yeah, so nobody wants to get. I said, nobody wants to get punched in the mouth by some Weisenheimer. So, but I don't think that. I hope the vote goes different than the sale of masks, because everybody's afraid to, have a flag or say anything patriotic these days. But anyway, that's so how are we going to get it? How do you think we're going to bust loose with some gas tax money from these same people? It's got to be hard.
Threading the needle here, the trick really, I think, is going to be to get Riverside County to finally get up to, they won't even come to the table. They don't even want to talk about it. They just say, this isn't a legal thing to do or a possible thing. Well, of course it isn't when you're already getting half the money. Nobody wants to talk about that. So if we could get them to join with us, take the same bill, take out a few of the things that people found offensive in it or whatever. Get the same bill. We've got a new senator, Stone, we had issues with Stone, that's all kind of gone away. I think the Melendez will be better regarded among the other senators than Stone was. So if you have Waldron and her Melendez carry this thing, but if the county would give us their lobbyist and get co-sponsors from other part of the county that are Democrat and kind of jointly work this with us, I think it might be possible, and it wouldn't cost an arm and a leg. So that's kind of, I guess, that's kind of what I'm working on right now. And I don't think I would say all that out in public, but that's kind of where we're at, to try to piece together a coalition.
You're gonna,
The county, because the county's got to bring us those Democrat votes in the legislature.
Jim, you're gonna need to pull this off if you plan to run for mayor.
No, I'm going to run you, and then I'll be the assistant. How's that?
Yeah, and then we'll have Keith run the Four Seasons up on the hill.
Oh, sure. He'd be good at that. He'd be great. First thing he's going to want is food and beverage, but we'll deny that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess everything's going as good as can be expected under the circumstances, and we're moving forward with all of our plans. They really not, other than how they're slowing us down with the Sandia Creek and the Via Vaquero thing. Everything else seems to be going forward. Mm-hmm. So, I thank you all for your hard work and everything.
And Keith had to babysit. I mean, he had to help those environmentalists at Sandia Creek last week.
I'm actually still working.
Did you speed them up? They were out. He found them wandering around out there last week.
Yeah, so I haven't lost it yet. I've actually got her scheduled for this week with the contractor. So she has some tool that apparently they all share, and so she's going to try and get up there this week. I spoke to the contractor today. He said he's free this week to meet with her up there, and I've been texting her back and forth. to get them set up. So it'll be Thursday or Friday so that she can get up there and get all her data collected, and then she'll have what she needs.
Okay. They're the holdup. Maybe when you're talking to her, because I don't think she talks to me anymore. Maybe reiterate that, you know, the traffic for these Marines is all being held up, you know, thanks to them. And because we're almost at the end. Rainy season's coming.
Yeah, I will find a way to mention that to her, that we're getting under the gun here.
Are you guys thinking that's a possibility that it wouldn't get approved or whatever until too late in the season? We'd have to put Sandia Creek off over the winter, or is that?
That's the problem.
Or did
It
the
can't happen.
voters vote on that and that's what they want? I mean, the residents? I mean, if you give them a vote, they would.
Unfortunately, these are federal and state laws that we don't have any say about.
Yeah, I got it.
And these guys have been so miserable to work with. So,
Okay,
Dave,
well,
and what do you think? You think we're gonna get this done this fall?
I have no, I can't. They should have been done 6 months ago. So I won't say. But Keith, one thing, tell your contractor to don't tell them that he's going to take his bulldozer down the middle of the water course.
Oh, no.
I know, common sense. But, yeah.
Yep.
All right, that's it for me.
all right, well, does anybody else have anything that I want to add or talk about? Then if not, I guess it's an early meeting, then we'll just call it and be
Yeah.
adjourned at 5:30, 5:33.
No, he has a 5:33? Yeah, okay.
And see you guys
Okay.
tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Got
Bye-bye.
another one tomorrow night.
All right,
Bye.
We'll see you there.
see you tomorrow.
Okay.